Alright guys, here we are on Hunter Call of the Wild. We're going to start these Yukon Valley missions here.
Welcome to Yukon Valley, Chichiko. From up here, you're able to see almost the entire reserve. This looks like the spot to set the plane down. I'll pull up to the jetty and you can climb out. Now, good luck to you out there. Don't forget, I'm only a radio call away. I'm quite certain that you're the part of the puzzle that we've been missing out here. While I deal with paperwork and people, you're going to be my eyes and ears on the ground. We're going to be a strong team. I just know it.
Welcome to Alaska.
Enjoy your time out in the reserve. Confident that someone of your ability will find their way around, no problem. I look forward to seeing the results of your hunt. Since you've just arrived, there's a couple of places nearby that I'd like you to visit. You can probably see the lookout tower, just up the hill from where I dropped you off. If you climb to the top, you'll get a great view of the surrounding area. There's also an outpost close to the tower. It's always good to know where you can rest your head after a day's work, right? Head to the outpost and make sure it's ready to receive visitors. I don't mind which one you travel to first, but I'd like you to stop off at both sites. Once you're up top, enjoy the view. These towers are used mostly for fire watch duties. But when I'm at the top of one, normally I just want to put my feet up and enjoy the tranquility. I haven't had a chance to do that in a long time, though. You at the top? Can you see the outpost from there? I normally do a routine check of an outpost after we've had visitors. All it takes is a forgotten half-eaten sandwich, and suddenly you have curious animals coming to investigate. Bears are temperamental neighbors, and you don't want them knocking on the door asking to borrow some sugar.
Alright, let's visit Loggers Point. This is definitely my favorite reserve in the whole game.
Welcome to Loggers Point. 100 years ago or so, felled trees would be dragged down there. And teams would strip them down and roll them into the river. Then they'd be bundled up and towed out to the sawmills. The outpost sits on top of the old workers' campsite. I know it might seem trivial, but can you take a look at the trash can and make sure that it's locked? It's a bear-proof trash can with a tricky catch. I don't want to take any chances.
Alright, let's check the trash can.
People often struggle to lock these heavy-duty trash cans, but if they leave it just a little bit open, all sorts of trouble could come sniffing around. I think we got lucky this time. Thanks for taking care of that. Oh, one last thing. Before you move on, can you take a look at the firewood inside the cabin? Damn, this is bad news. These logs have all the signs of a beetle infestation. Let me see if I can check in with the hunters who must have cut the firewood. I have the number for their satellite phone in the log somewhere. I'll get back to you. I just found the number. I knew I had it here somewhere. I'll give the hunters who stayed here a call and see what they have to say. I'll call you back in a moment after I've landed.
Alright, first mission done.
No answers from the hunters yet. I'll keep trying. There's an outpost in the forest to your northwest. If you follow the trail, you'll find it. I have a hunch that... Oh, phone's ringing. I'll call you back when I get some answers from these guys about where they cut the wood. Head to the forest outpost in the meantime. I'll bet that's where they were.
I thought that was a feed zone or something. I was going to say let's go mark that, but it's not. Alright, let's stay on objective. This is such a beautiful map though.
Turns out that the cabin had been out of firewood, so they'd gone looking for a fallen tree to carve up. You are now in the same forest they were when they found our beetle-infested tree.
We're looking for evasive beetles, I'm guessing.
I see you're near the forest outpost. Once you get up there, take a look in the cabin. There should be a backpack with some supplies in it. When you find it, just grab the whole pack.
Alright, let's discover this. Then we'll stay on the objective here.
That's the one. Once you're done at the outpost, take a look in the surrounding forest. Can you find any fallen trees in that area? The spruce bark beetles are a massive threat to Alaska's spruce forests at the moment. We haven't been hit as badly compared to some other Alaskan state parks, but I think that it may be time for a quarantine. Okay. So once you find a fallen tree, I want you to take a look at its bark. Does it look healthy? If so, it's probably not the tree we're looking for. This is the one. Okay, in that pack you should have a canister of paint and a nozzle attachment. Use them to paint a big pink X on the tree. And let's take a look around to make sure the beetles haven't started to spread. If you see a spruce in the immediate vicinity of the fallen tree, mark it. And our forestry team will come out and take care of it. If it's untouched, they can just spray it with pesticides to protect it. If it's already infested, then they'll cut it down and haul it away for burning.
I think we have to maybe investigate these trees.
Great job. I hope we don't need to cut these trees down, but it's the small price to pay to contain the beetles. There we go. Another tree marked. This reminds me of my summer breaks when I was a kid, helping out my dad at work. He was a tree surgeon down in Washington State. I used to resent him for making me go out there and work, while my friends played back home. Eventually, those trips also included hunting lessons, and that made them my favorite parts of the summer. That should do. I'll get in touch with the foresters. They can investigate the area and cut down what they need to. I'll make sure that they also pick up the firewood at Loggers Point. Don't want to take any chances. Thanks for taking care of this. It's becoming a full-on phobia of mine that these beetles are going to destroy the forest here. We sprayed pesticides across the western edge of the forest as a preventative measure earlier this month. But any new chemicals in the air, soil, or water make me uneasy.
Alrighty, easy enough.
In the same bag that you found the paint, there should be some plastic sample containers. Could you bring them out to the wetlands? Muskeg is the word we use up here in Alaska.
Let's get an ATV, it'll go a little quicker. Let's get some ammo too. Plus I do want to bring my 308 out with me. Gotta stock up on some ammo here too. Alrighty, let's grab the ATV, and we're good. On to the next mission. Travel to the Muskeg, aka the wetlands. Just this marsh up here.
Going to be grabbing some samples out there. So one of our research teams can test the pesticides to make sure they aren't having any effect on the ecology. This was actually my wife Sandy's idea. She runs the Yukon Valley Nature Center, so she's working closely with a visiting research team. Welcome to Yukon Valley's wetlands. The last time I brought both of my daughters here to spot birds, they told me that all the bird spotting in the world wasn't worth the smell. Turned out that a bear had left a rotting moose carcass in the summer sun. I decided to spot birds somewhere else, just in case the bear came back for seconds. Watch your footing at the water's edge. It can be easy to slip and fall in. Let's fill one of the containers you have with water. Nice Nicely done. First time I was there, I misjudged how stable the edge of a pond was and ended up with one leg knee-deep in the water. I was a rookie at the time, and luckily nobody saw it happen. Can you grab a second sample from a body of water slightly further away from the forest? The pesticides we're using on the forest to prevent lethal infestation are effective, but I still have my doubts about the effects on other wildlife. The flats are one of our most biodiverse species, so I can't risk introducing anything dangerous into the water or the food chain. Can you take some samples from the water beside the forest first? You sprayed a section of the forest's western edge last month, so I want to know if anything has changed since then.
I always try to cruise at the water's edge so you can hit some of these drink zones while you're in between missions here. Start marking some of your areas down. There's two black or two grizzly here.
Intimidating creatures I've ever encountered. First time I spotted one, I instinctively checked my rifle reloading just in case it charged. Over 200 yards away.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing around with Alaskan grizzlies, they'll tear you apart. Alright, here we are. Let's get our water sample.
Great. That should do for water samples. Next up, I need you to find me some animal droppings in this region. The muskeg is a hotbed of animal activity, so you should find droppings quite easily.
Let's hit this lookout tower quick while we're here. Should always try to do that too, because then you're just discovering your locations.
I want to know if it's making it into the food chain. It's been a month since the spray, so there's been plenty of time for the pesticides to get out there. Reindeer, or caribou as they're known in North America, have a long history as the backbone of native Alaskan society. The Gwich'in tribe have always harvested caribou to provide food, tools, and clothing. The herds are a fraction of their former size nowadays. Not many non-natives get to hunt them.
Alright, we're gonna hit this outpost in between this mission here real quick. Like I said, the more you discover, the better in the beginning, because then you can start fast traveling around the map and stuff instead of actually taking time to travel these distances. Can be a pain in the ass. Let's make our way towards this outpost and we'll discover them droppings on the way there. Collect droppings from two different species. So we need two different species. Let's see if we can track this caribou real quick to one of his droppings. Yep, right here's one.
That's
One out of
what we're
two.
looking for. Perfect. Could you find a sample from a different species as well? It's better to grab a larger sample size while you're already there in the field.
You know what we'll do? We'll go right back here to these grizzly bears. That we were finding along the way here. We got grizzly and moose down in here. There it is right here. Oh wow, that's the same caribou, I guess. We'll just go right back to this grizzly drink zone we found. Check this too real quick. A lot of ducks around here. What kind of ducks are these, by the way? Can't even like see them. They're too high. Oh, they're geese. Wow, now these marks aren't even going to be here anymore. We'll have to just run around this area. Let's just go back to our ATV. More geese. Let's grab our ATV real quick. Yeah, I thought we'd be able to find one of those black bear droppings, but wasn't the case. There's that same caribou too. Starting to snow on the map, that's pretty cool. We'll probably slowly start seeing everything start turning white. We already are starting to see it. just head towards that outpost. I'm sure we'll find something along the way. This is all caribou in here. There we go.
That should do it. Now we'll be able to tell if anything larger than a fly is ingesting chemicals that we should be worried about. It's hard work wading through the muskeg, huh? I have a spot where you can drop the samples off, and I can easily pick them up. Oh, I just remembered. I've been speaking with my wife about the work you've been doing, and she mentioned a few tasks that she has on her plate that I think could help her with. I gave her your number, so expect to hear from her. Working on some very important studies at the moment. Hang on a second. I'm getting a call.
There we go. Mission complete.
Okay, I'm back. Slight change of plans. Before you drop off the sample, I need you to grab a hatchet from the outpost at the western edge of the plant.
Alright, we're gonna go discover this outpost.
Out in the northwest corner of the reserve, and you're perfectly placed to take care of it. It looks like storms have recently moved to the tree, which is about to collapse onto the train track. Let me know when you grab the hatchet.
Going to pick up this hatchet from this outpost, discover the outpost. And we'll do another mission or two in this video. We're going to do all the reserve missions, so you'll be able to find all the reserves and all the missions in my Hunter Call of the Wild playlist on YouTube. We're going to have to find a way across here. Looks like this guy's wife just started giving us missions too. Yep. Where's the hatchet? Is it outside? Guess it is outside. Collect a hatchet from the marked outpost. Oh, it's right here.
You got the hatchet? Great. I hope our visitors haven't been using it to open their beans. You're gonna need a nice sharp edge. It's small, but it should do the job. There's a lake just to the north of the flats. I'll be flying over it on my way home. If you drop that stuff off there, I can jump out, grab it, and get it to one of our ecological research teams today, instead of you having to walk around with a bag full of droppings and swamp water.
Alright, off we go. We'll be doing our wolf grind for the Great One on this map too, so I'm just letting y'all know. I'll be setting that up soon enough. Let's mark these zones as we find them too. Alright, we're almost there. Let's actually hit this over here too quick.
Yukon Valley has its fair share of folklore. The stories are almost always creepy.
The Uralii are said to be 10-foot tall, furry, ape-like creatures with glowing eyes. Though generally seen as benevolent, legend has it that they are transformed bodies of lost children that went missing in the woods. Is made all the more unsettling by their eerie wailing. That's pretty crazy. Kind of sounds like Bigfoot or something. There's your hatchet and all your
Samples
bag.
ready for pickup? Fantastic. I'll be over that way as soon as I can. I really appreciate the assistance. Hunting for droppings and wading into swamp water might not be glamorous or exciting, but it's part of a massive effort to maintain the balance of life out here. It makes a big difference.
There we go. Easy enough, man. We'll do one more.
You ready to head out to the tracks? Just knowing that tree is hanging over the train tracks is making me anxious. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's worth it to see the rail bridge. Let me know once you've found the tree. With any luck, it won't take you long to clear it out of the way.
We're gonna have to use this hatchet to clear this tree off the railroad tracks up here. This will be the last mission of the video. We'll slowly be knocking out these Yukon valley missions though, so like I said, you can always just go on my playlist and you'll see everything in there. Everything on my YouTube channel is separated by playlist, by game, so try to make your guys' life easy. Alright, let's go up to this railroad up here. These tracks, I should say. There's another zone, my god. Bunch of zones out here.
Loosened in a recent storm. Yukon Valley tends to get a few lightning storms each summer, but we do a thorough job of preparing. So we only saw a couple of small fires that went out on their own. Some of my team are still recording the after effects of the storms. I've heard reports of huge trees with deep roots that are now at precarious angles and might need to be cut down. We're lucky to have such isolated incidents. Other reserves have reported landslides. I've only ever seen one landslide in person, and that was from the air. Even from up there, it was a shocking display of natural force. It was all I could do to land the plane before the storm overtook me. It's hard to tell what caused this tree to tip over. I guess the big question is how to do this properly. But I trust you to get the job done. I hope you can make do with a hatchet.
That'd be pretty damn sketchy to do with a hatchet, bro, but...
Great work out there. The train is behemoth. I honestly don't think a single tree would do more than dent it in a collision. But I'd rather not take the chance and risk a serious accident. Speaking of the train, it's due to pass by at any moment. I'd stay clear of the tracks if I were you. Keeping that railroad open is a big responsibility for us. Not only is it essential for a lot of trade out here, but the bridge brings tourists in from all over the place. I'd like a good picture of the bridge, one that we can put on our website. See if you can snap it while the train is passing over it. That'll look great. I used to come out to this corner of the reserve with my family. We'd spend long weekends camping. And I teach my youngest daughter, Kara, how to shoot. My older daughter, Deanna, was still an angry teenager who needed convincing to take part in any activity. She'd always be laughing and having fun by the end of the trip, though. That looks like a good spot to take the photo. Those trips are some of my favorite memories. It brought us all closer as a family. Being alone together. That's the shot we needed. Here's me talking about my family vacations when I can't even remember the last time I had dinner with my wife. Her birthday was what? A month ago? I think I'm probably overdue to take her out somewhere nice. It's a shame we couldn't catch it with the train on top, but it's still good. I'll send this picture over to Sandy. Her team takes care of the Yukon Valley website. And we're in business. Good. I'll let our researchers know they're welcome to visit when they're ready. Of course, you can sleep here and restock your supplies, just like any other outpost. Next up, head over to an outpost that we're replacing. Not too far from where you are just now. The cabin was lost in the Yukon forest fire 2 years ago. And we're in the process of replacing it with a temporary trailer, equipped with some more modern facilities. Due to the level of damage that was sustained by this area of the reserve, it has attracted several researchers who would would like to perform long-term studies in the region. The Yukon Forest will host our first research outpost trial. Oh, and in case you were unaware, Yukon is a native word for wolf. The fire destroyed part of the forest, but the wolves are still out there. I'd make sure you keep your rifle fully loaded at all times while you're in wolf country. I look forward to your call when you find the outpost.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for the Hunter Call of the Wild Yukon missions for today. We'll pick it up next time right at this mission. We'll be traveling to this outpost and continuing there. So leave a like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.